What is going on, young men? Listen, on today's video, I'm going to give you five reasons why I think trade school is the best thing going for young men out here between 18 and 29, particularly if you are just graduating high school. Listen, I am the Over 50 Guy / the Online Dad. On my channel, I give young men practical advice and tips to help them avoid a lot of the pitfalls and crazy that I went through at your age, so that when you get to my age, you can have resources and options to be able to live the life that you really want to live. That's what we do on the channel. Let's get into it. 5 reasons, young men, why I believe trade school is the best thing going for young men these days. Reason number 1, hands-on training for in-demand careers. Guys, look, I tell my story all the time. I was very fortunate coming out of high school. My father worked in the building trades, so he took me with him one day, and that started my trade school career. I started when I was 19 years old. When most kids are in college, they really don't know if they want to be there. Mom and dad is making them go. They don't know what they want to do. They are spending mom and dad's thousands of dollars to get a degree with no real guarantee of a position, right? This is where trade school is different. You are training for a specific career. Whether that be plumbing, whether that be electric, whether that be welding, you are training for that specific career so that when you leave the program, you have a training in a specific area that you can go and find a job in. I can't tell you guys how many times back when I was your age that I ran into the people with business administration degrees, with criminal justice degrees, political science degrees, and all of these people couldn't find jobs in their field. They were actually trying to get jobs on the construction site that I was at. Young men, it is not just getting a piece of paper and hoping for the best when you go to trade school. You are getting hands-on training for a specific field that you would be able to leave that school with, go out and find employment. In many fields, when it comes to university learning, you have to get the degree, then you have to go to some type of internship, then you have to jump through some other hoops before you can even start making some money, because you have to get the training for this particular job that you go into. That is not the case with trade school. With trade school, you are getting the training for the specific job that you sign up for. You are able to go out and earn. And yes, these careers are in demand. You will always need carpenters. You will always need plumbers. You will always need electricians. You will always need HVAC people. You will always need welders, right? AI and technology has not overcome that challenge, right? So hands-on training for in-demand careers is number 2. Good earning potential. I was a union laborer for 4 years. And in those 4 years, I can't tell you how many people that I knew, friends of mine, who had degrees, who graduated with degrees, knew what I was making and was willing to throw everything they just put 4 years into away so they can come work where I was working. Why? Because the money was so good. Listen to some of the median average incomes of some of these careers. Electrician, median average salary, $60,000. Plumber, median average salary, $60,000. HVAC, $51,000. Carpenter, $51,000. Listen, young man, if there is anything that I can tell you is that most young men in their 20s struggle throughout their 20s because they can't make money like this. And they spend the majority of their 20s, even into their 30s, trying to find this. You just graduate high school at 18, 19 years old, and you get involved with the building trades, and within 3 to 5 years, you can be making this type of money. Guys, it's a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer, as opposed to working the department store jobs, door dashing, working at McDonald's or any of these things. You're not going to make this type of money at McDonald's. I guarantee you. Managers aren't making this type of money. good earning potential. That's number two. Number three, the time that it takes you to get a certification versus a degree. Listen, with trade school, men, anywhere between 18 months and 2 years, you can be up and going, making serious money, as opposed to going to university for 4 years, spending money for classes, and not making a dime until you finish, without any real guarantee of getting a job in that field. See, once you complete your training, you get to go out and start working right away. Now, you're not making full scale, but you are definitely making more than you would at these other jobs. You will start as an apprentice, right? That's a certain rate. Then after so long, you become a journeyman. Then after that, you get to full scale. All of these steps, young men, you're getting paid and you are making money while you're learning the particular trade. Number four, young men, let's talk about stability. Let's talk about a job that is recession proof. That, listen, I don't care what is going on with the economy. You are always going to need electricians. You're always going to need plumbers. You're always going to need these trades. And here's the brilliant thing about trade school, especially electricians, plumbers, and carpenters, that these are trades that you can do after you work your regular day. In other words, after you work an 8-hour shift as a plumber, as an electrician, as a carpenter, you can get off work and then you can do that same trade on your own as side work, or you can start your own business doing one of these trades. You talk about career stability, right? You will be able to earn over here full time, then you will be able to earn on your own. It is recession proof, young men. Nothing will stop the need for these trades. Lastly, young men, cost. That it is sad, but it is true that many people who go to university amass tons of debt before they even get out and start working. They get a degree just to have to pay loans back that they took out to pay for their schooling. In 2023 alone, it was $1.7 million in student loan debt. That's about $38,000 per household. And young men, what do you think it is now? The cost of trade school, young men, $3,800 to $15K, of which there is grants available. And even if you do have to take out a loan, listen, man, I know people that are still paying off student loan debt for degrees that they did not even use. Trade school is a way you can get a high-paying job, a job that is full of job security that you don't have to pay through the nose to get. So listen, this is one of the first videos that I did when I started this channel some months back, telling you guys about the benefits of trade school. Listen, with AI and technology, young men, the days of getting out of high school and going to work at the plant that your mom or dad worked at, those days are gone, right? So if you don't want to be struggling in your 20s, finding adequate employment that you are going to need in order to survive, listen, I am all for chasing your dream and finding your passion and your purpose in life. But while you're doing that, you're going to need a good job, right? You're going to need a job that has good earning potential, that is stable, recession-proof, that does not cost a ton of money to obtain. And nothing fits that bill better, young men, than trade school. That, listen, everybody is not cut out for university. That's okay. There is another option out here for you that you can make just as much money without having to shell out so much up front. So listen, I have seen it more times than many. Young men that struggle in their 20s and in their 30s because they can't find the right type of employment. This is the right type of employment. It is an easy process to get started. You Google search the plumbers union, the electricians union, the HVAC union in your town. It's an easy Google search. You call them, you find out what the requirements are. It's usually an application process, a skills test that they're not really grading, but you have to take it. You get put on a list, and when your name comes up, they call you. A lot of young men's hang up is that, well, when are they going to call me? Well, the reality of it is it may take 6 months, it may take 2 years. Here's the thing. If you're not on that list, they're never calling you, and you won't have a chance at these things that we just discussed. So if it takes 2 years for them to call you, young men, if it takes 3 years, you're going to be working or doing something else anyway. So it is absolutely worth it. It would be worth it if you had to wait 2 years in order to make upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 a year in your 20s or even in your 30s. Listen, young men, for those of you who are not sure about wanting to go to college, for those of you who flat out know that that is just not something you want to pursue, this trade school piece, man, it's worth its weight in gold. And you need to take advantage of that. So listen, that is all I have for tonight, young men. Listen, one-on-one coaching is still available. I'll have my email in the bottom of the video description. Just put coaching in the subject line when you email me back. I'll tell you all about that process. Lives, 11 o'clock on Sundays. You guys need to tap in for that. It really is a good time. So I am the Over 50 Guy / the Online Dad. We'll be back with another one soon.